Okay, welcome to the empty room interviews. We've had a bit of a sabbatical because of the ridiculous heat and England and a million other one sodding stupid things. So we've got this is an episode that I've wanted to do for a while. Same with George because we are all three very much part of NTKO. Connor's been somebody that has been a bit of a mystical figure in the music industry in recent times because of the fact that you were kind of everywhere with us as a part of your band, and now suddenly you disappeared, and this is your chance to explain what happened. So yeah, this is Connor Hirsch. He is director of NTKO, and he is a very successful drummer in his own right. Take the stage, Bobby.
Uh, you flatter me. Um, so yeah, I mean, I tend to leave it off my CV and not shout about it anymore. But I was C in Balaclava, um, which I think a lot of people know how it ended. For those that didn't, uh, the lead singer did some horrendous things and is now serving time in prison for that. Um, but my experience in the industry was heavily tainted by his actions. And that experience in that band overall. I think really to best explain that, if you go back to sort of like 2017, I'd gone from fresh out of high school, was in college, and got just auditioned for a band and went from sort of just playing in my garage with my mates to supporting bands like Pixie Lot, Youth Killed It, Mathematics, going on tour with all sorts of bands, all sorts of venues, sleeping in cars, sleeping in luxury hotels, and then sort of like I got very caught up in the numbers, which I think in the music industry is really easily done. And if there's one thing I could say is numbers don't mean anything because my experience was unsigned global number seven, UK number two. Yeah, I still got up at 5:30 every morning to go pick up the eggs from the chickens at work. Um, one day I was thinking one day I'm going to make it, and then COVID came through and wiped out the band. Now that sort of left me a bit like, what do I do now? A lot of free time. Gave it a break for a few years, and then I met the other half, Balaclava. Um, now he was an absolute, to be blunt. Can I use a brutal word? He was just an
Yep,
arsehole.
absolutely.
Um, Started off very friendly, very nice, lured you into like a false sense of friendship, then absolutely ruined everything you liked and made it all about himself. Um, However, that being said, the actual speed that the band grew, we went from not being booked to Dale booking us to play a show in Skegness. Long live the courthouse.
Carpet Gate!
Not the carpet,
We do
not the
love that.
carpet.
Um, to suddenly we were everywhere. We A lot of that thanks to NTKO, who had taken us across the country with them, but also being picked up by bands of all sorts of sizes. I won't name drop any bands because I don't think they want to be associated with the Balaclava name anymore, which is completely understandable. But we went from nothing to something very quickly, uh, and then that was all torn down by a very selfish man. Um, but my response to that was I disappeared. I mean, Dale speaks to me daily, and even she couldn't get hold of me. And it was just like, I'm gonna disappear. And then she sort of said to me, look, can we do an interview? I said, okay. And here we are now.
Indeed.
It's been a bit of
What
a roller
So,
story?
coaster.
going back to before all the shit at the fan, tell us about the original band that you were part of.
I was part of a band called The Visitors. Um, they were a trio when I joined college, and I got a text from the lead singer one random Friday afternoon at like 6:30 saying, "Hey, you play drums?" I went, "Yes." She went, "Can you get to Wyndham for a band practice?" I was sat on the sofa and I thought, "Can I be asked?" And I went, "All right, okay, yep, off I go." And I got in the car, and I won't lie, I'd never listened to this band before. And I got in the car and they were quizzing me like, "Oh, what's your favorite song?" And I literally had an AirPod in. I really like Facade. I really like the drum in real time, commenting on the song as it was listening to my ears. And then I practiced with them occasionally. A month later, that was it. I was in, At this point, sort of the visitors they hadn't really gigged. They'd been booked for a few shows but didn't have the lineup for it. So we literally within that first year we gigged at least twice a week. Over the summer we probably gigged 3 or 4 times a week. I think we bundled everything into a Ford Fiesta that is 5 band members, 2 guitar cabs, 2 guitar heads, a bass amp, a full drum kit, and then drove around the country for 4 nights, playing shows across Cambridge, Luton, Northampton. And anyone that tells you you need lots of money to go on tour, you don't. You just need a couple of good friends that you don't need to have personal space with. Because when you wake up next to 5 of your best mates in the Ford Fiesta, you know about it.
Sounds like you, Joe, with Joe.
Yeah, yep, that is some very similar stories. I can understand that one.
But yeah, that one, we I think we found a gap in the market at the right time. We got picked up by the BBC very, very quickly. Um, some bands. I mean, we got a fairly big band down our way called You've Killed It. They their singer did all the production on our album and recording. We supported them across some of their gigs. Obviously, we were for Pixie Lot at Festival 2, and that was I Jordan. I think as someone who appreciates like pure sound, when I was doing sound check, every single car alarm in a 2 mile vicinity went off when you check the kick drum. It was it was sort of that level of sound.
That's ridiculous.
But that was again, that was everyone that says you need money, you need funding, you need this. You didn't. I was playing with a £200 drum kit, a £5 pair of sticks, and cymbals that I bought cheaply on eBay, and that was it. That was enough. It's just as long as you've got the right people around you and you know how to use your gear, it doesn't matter what you got. It doesn't matter what money you've got. You just got to go for it.
I think that's one of those things if you're doing it for the right reasons. I mean, me and you have talked about that a lot, and we kind of also as Jordan, that if your passion is music, then you're not doing it to be famous, you're not doing it to be
If you're doing music
adored.
because you want to be a millionaire,
Yeah,
then stop. Like, yes, you want to make a career out of music, that's great. But wanting to make a career and just wanting to turn a quick penny, especially with the age of music we're in, where unfortunately AI can write an award-winning song in 3 seconds,
hmm,
you've got no chance of, it's not like the old days where you put a song out and overnight Virgin Media have called you up and gone, yeah, we want to sign you. You have to fund it yourself now. If you think it's a quick buck, it's not. But if you're doing it for the love of the game, then 100% keep going.
yeah. I mean, we had this conversation quite a bit when all the other shit was hitting the fan, didn't we? That the other one, that he who shall not be named, was all about the fame, wasn't he? All about the adoration, the look at me, look at me, look at me, and
To a degree, I think if you like being admired or you like the attention, then sure, that's all part of being a musician, especially if you're the front man or front woman of a band. Like you are going to get people that want to speak to you, that want to get to know you. But if that becomes your entire personality and you're suddenly obsessed with how many followers have I got, how many likes, who's posting photos of me on their Instagram, like you've you've gone to the depths of being in it for the wrong reasons.
definitely. So how did it go beyond the point of the original point with your original band, the Visitors? Then it kind of went pretty mad, didn't it?
What as in
The crowds
how
that you were playing to, like, you
yeah.
you were
Yeah, if you'd have
seeing sort of
told
some serious crowds.
yeah, I mean we Festival 2 we played there about 30,000 people and we played it the night that it was we're in the World Cup and we were sat there backstage, I remember bricking it. If England lost their game, the crowd was going to go one or two ways. But if England won, we knew we were going to have a good time. And we all sat there refreshing, 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 eating. I can't, God no, it was a festival, so probably a lot of crap. But we're eating something. And then we heard the whistle blow from the pub across the road because they all had it on full volume. And we were like, okay. Then we heard a cheer and we knew, right, we're in for a good night. And we opened our set with Football's Coming Home. Completely unplanned.
Oh, nice.
But and then And then the people hosting the festival told us off because we'd stolen that from them. So apparently that was a whole thing they were going to do to build the crowd up for Pixie Lot. And we're like, whoops,
Oh
we did
well,
it for
that's brilliant.
them.
That's a great story.
Why
And
not
from
though?
there,
I
it's sort
mean,
of just like we broke London. Like we were playing in all sorts of venues in London, from Sweaty Underground, well, probably the same size as my living room, that were overcrowded, to some mega venues, and with some artists that at the time were up and coming. Um, and then yeah, COVID. And that was sort of it. COVID happened. It all got a bit serious for us. We were on the, we were already in talks of where we're going to go, sort of with the band, what
because you were
direction.
kind of on the cusp of being sort of signed and whatever you
Yeah,
class
we
it
were
as these
talking to
days,
a
weren't you?
lot of people. We were on the cusp of some pretty big breakthroughs with people in the industry. And then when COVID happened, it killed a lot of people's mental health, a lot of people's just drive in general. It killed the music industry, especially down my way. We lost three of the best venues that you could have, and they've never come back. That's it. They're just done. And I think that just put some tension between the band members. And then that was it. Just one day, one went, it's not for me. The other one went, "No." Like all five of us sort of just established no, which is a shame because we actually had an insane album ready to launch, which has never
What
seen light.
happened to the material? Did it just that was it? Just went away, disappeared?
Yeah, thing is that a lot of people don't realize is Spotify, Amazon, like getting your music on places isn't free. And like I said, when you're self-funded, that is a large expense, especially if you're paying for more of the premium and then your distribution and you're running merch on top of that. It got to a point where we were just like, we could have live on, but none of us wanted to keep funding it. And then we're all worried, like, oh, if I don't, if I start paying for it, someone else doesn't. Like a complete lack of just communication breakdown.
Mm. But it was bloody hard to communicate at that point, weren't it? You weren't even allowed to see your own parents. So.
Yeah. And I think the saddest thing about the visitors for me was they were like my best friends for so many years, and now I don't speak to any of them.
Oh,
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're all doing well for themselves. Um, I know the rhythm guitarist is doing really well in a really big band, a band called Polar. They're sick. You should definitely check them out. And then the lead singer is singing on, it's like she's made a bit of a name for herself on TikTok as like a live singer, live streamer.
Oh, nice.
And then yeah, there's
And
me.
then you're stuck with us.
I'm stuck with you.
So yeah, so I mean, moving on to the next stage of things. So what happened after lockdown?
Um, so me and my other half, we'd got our first place, so we moved out. Went and got a flat. Didn't really think anything of music at the time. Then we moved again, had a little girl. At this point, I was like, I need to do something with my evenings. Like, I need something that's me. So I spoke with Alice, and she was like, get yourself another band. So I did. Started off as a full band. The other members were really flaky, wouldn't even turn up to practice. And then he became very regular in my life. We started writing music, and then one day he was just like, "Hey, should we put that on Spotify?" Because originally it was just a bit of fun. There was never an intention of having a band. And then one day I got a text through saying we should upload it to Spotify. Then the next text was it's on Spotify. So I was like, oh, okay, this has happened. And that's how the whole Balaclava thing kicked off. Which, like I said, it went from zero to nothing really quickly. I think though it was very, and I think you said yourself, so Dale, it was very gimmicky. Like the first album was popular because it was different, it was gimmicky, it was a laugh, and that's what drew people like Yellow Belly to us.
Yeah,
Um, but then when there wasn't any more maturity to it, when the band kept putting out songs that were that kind of thing, it dropped off. And I
yeah.
think the saving grace was we went to the studio, we recorded 5 songs, and I played you one of the songs, and you went, "That's not, that's not Balaclava." No, yes, it is. And yeah, it could have been a very different situation, a very different sort of
Absolutely. I
scenario.
mean, I remember when me and you heard that song for the first time, don't you, George? The
I know
Rebirth
exactly which
song.
one you're on about.
Yeah. I honestly think that needs re-recording at some point because that is such a fucking sick song, and that was you, Connor. That
Yeah, that was my my little baby. So funny enough, that song was written around. And I like telling this to people that know the song because no one believes it. I was stood in my kitchen with a 16 key MIDI keyboard and wrote that song around a blues piano line.
Did you play piano, don't you? That's
Yes.
something that not a lot of people know about you.
No, I play piano. I mean, I can make you groove with a drum set, but I could probably make you cry with a piano.
But both at the same time.
I haven't tried that
Make him cry, that would.
yet. That would make me cry.
So yeah, I mean, I remember, God, I mean, I think it's fair to say for all three of us that the incident has blighted everything, really. And we've all talked about the fact that, yes, victims get their support as they do, but nobody really understands the when somebody does something like that, the aftermath of what it does to the people close to them. And I'd say it's fucked me and you, and it George, quite badly. And that's not, and then you sort of take center stage on that one, Connor, because you were, front and
I,
center.
I think that what people just have to remember in that scenario, regardless of what side of it you're on, um, talk to people. You've got like for me, you, Jordan, Ed, Pat, your mum, lots of different people to talk to and vent to. And you like I could talk to you about it from one aspect, but I could message Jordan about it at the same time, being really angry. Like I feel this way, whereas with you, I'm like I'm really sad, and like it's just to talk to people is like the only thing.
Definitely, yeah.
Because if you don't talk, then it eats you inside. And also,
Definitely.
I think like maybe it's in bad taste as a joke, but most musicians, by the time they've like played to 30,000 people and reached a level where they're a member of their band is a sex offender, they're usually multimillionaires by that point. I didn't even make it to that stage.
Where are you going wrong?
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely, yeah. But no, it's like I know we're sort of joking about it, and we still sort of struggle to talk about it. But when it all, I mean, ironically, I've got my "I Survived Blue Monday" t-shirt on today, and I still say, like jokingly, that was the last time we were all happy because it all came out the week after.
yeah, it did. It was very unexpected with how much that snowballed as well. It's safe to say that unfortunately Balaclava didn't do things small, did they?
No,
Um, they go
Well,
they tend to go from 0 to 100 real quick.
yes, and then 0 to 100 to 5 years.
Yes,
No, I know we're all kind of we're laughing about it because it was so fucking awful.
it's a coping mechanism. You have
From
to. Some people have to laugh or they'll cry.
of course you
that's true.
do. But
I live by that.
from my point of view, like to it was really hard. I mean, I'm just talking from my point of view, and this like yours was a millionfold on mine. But to know that you've supported and pushed and put front and center somebody that was doing something like that behind the scenes, you kind of think, should I have known? And
That that was a big thing that ate away at me for a while. But I think it was Alice that said to me, he wasn't doing that like when you first met him. He wasn't that person. So the only sort of like thing I've taken from that is at the point where we really all were supporting him and really all were pushing that brand, sort of, between February and July, nothing of that thing was happening. There were
no,
other things behind the scenes, but the degree that got him imprisoned wasn't happening. And for me, that's the only thing that made me sort of think like, okay, so I didn't just support that kind of arsehole like for the entirety of it. As weird as that sounds, it's sort of like the only way that my brain get around the fact that we didn't just support a paedophile.
No,
to be
no, we
blunt.
definitely didn't. I mean, we knew he was I don't know what some family members of his are going to watch this and like start giving me shit, but we knew he was a narcissistic bellend, but we didn't know quite to the degree of where it was going, did we?
No, no, we didn't.
I mean,
Um,
obviously, I was at blows with him by that point. You know, we were already kind of parting company, and you'd left before that point anyway, hadn't you?
yeah, I mean, I'd actually, and this is the thing that I got asked a lot was why did you leave? Because obviously, to the public eye, I get it. Like a band member left, announced their departure very suddenly, no warning. 3 weeks later, lead singer's in prison. I left because I have a daughter and a job, and the direction that the lead, the frontman was wanting to go, and the pressure he was putting on me just wasn't for me. And I was like, no, thank you. Like he gave me
See,
the choice.
well, it hit well, I mean, it hit the fan a bit when I was at yours on New Year's Eve, didn't it?
Yeah,
And that was well over a month before we found out. So
yeah. That was at that point I decided I was going to leave. Um, but when I was being asked, like, oh yeah, what excuses are you giving to people to go down to play shows and that kind of thing? So I'm not giving excuses. They just don't want to work with you. Like when we let them know that shit hit the fan, to be blunt, didn't it?
yeah,
Um, but no, I'd worked out by that point that the band wasn't for me, or certainly the direction it was now taking. Um, but yeah, like you said, I've sort of been both sides of the music industry. Definitely the earlier side where you put the work in, you're having fun. Sure, the band broke up, but I got experience, contacts, and memories from that that I wouldn't trade for anything. That's the side of the music industry you want to be on. Whether you're playing to three people in the room, one of them being the sound tech, or 30,000 people in the crowd in the middle of a field, treat them like they're the same gig. That's all I could really suggest. And that's my takeaway on everything.
I
I
guess
like
you
that.
get that, don't you, George?
Yep, yep. I mean, I haven't quite had the experience of 30,000 people yet, but I know what it's like playing to a room of three people, including the sound tech.
Mate, I've
Man and
been
his
there a lot.
dog.
Yeah, we actually did have that one time. Just a man and his dog, and that was our entire crowd. And it was great. We still treated it as if it was the biggest show we've ever done.
Dogs are
It was
great. They're way
Exactly.
better than people.
So I've always looked at it from practice to Wembley, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Because like I always treat a practice like it's a live show. Because if you start find yourself getting lazy in practice, you'll then take those habits into a live show, then you'll look bored, and then it'll be like, oh great, the drummer don't even look like he wants to be there. Because being a drummer, it's hard enough to have a presence as a person. As a sound, you're there. But as a person, like you can't jump about the stage or go into the crowd with your wireless, whatever, can you? You sort of like if you
I
if you
mean,
get up and start playing to go crowd surfing, people are like, well, where the drums gone?
yeah, that'd be interesting. With stuff that would be your sticks in the crowd, giving it something that's just not hitting anything. Take the cymbals with you. Crowd surf the whole kit.
21 Pilots actually do that, and that's absolutely insane.
That sounds cool. I like that.
But you
But yeah,
played one of the last gigs I was where you played was Fearless Vampire Killers, wasn't it, Connor?
Yes, it was. That was a hell of a show. I remember Jordan being like, "Oh, sorry, I can't make it," and then literally before about to go on stage, Jesus appeared, and I was like, "Oh, it's
oh
Jordan."
yeah. I got my timings wrong. I thought you weren't on for another half an hour. So when I got there and I saw the poster with the times on, I was like, oh, shit. It was like 1 minute till you were going on. As I come in the door, you were literally both like on the stairs to the stage, like going up. I was like, oh my God, I've just made it.
Oh, the Jesus days.
That was, yeah, that was a good vibe. I remember we chatted for quite a lot outside during that gig. It was, that
Yeah,
was,
we
that was a
did.
nice vibe.
It just goes to show where the band was potentially going, doesn't it?
It does, but I think for the right reasons now, there is no more of that band.
No, hell
The
no.
right the right reasons being obviously that he can't be out and about. Uh, like I said, sadly, there's a lot you'll never hear. But also, I don't think it's something that I'd want to release now with that sort of mark on the name.
And no more. Well, at least you haven't got to perform in woolen headgear in a 38-degree room anymore.
Yes, that is a benefit. It wasn't really thought through for some performances at all.
I don't think a lot
No.
was thought through in that man's life, was it? Let's be honest.
No, I don't think much was.
Well,
So what's next for you then, Connor? We know what's next for you with us, but I've heard rumblings that you might be getting behind a kit again.
Their rumblings. I can't give too much away because I don't know how we're gonna go about it, but there's movement. That's all
exciting.
I've said.
So what's that? So we're just gonna have to lie in wait, are we, and see what
Yes.
happens?
Yeah, even to you, Dale, I'm not gonna say anything because I know that'll kill you. Because
I'll
it's
find
even
out. I'll
fun.
ask your missus.
She doesn't know.
Oh, that's exciting then.
Yeah, it's a yeah.
This is what we want to hear.
It is.
You'll just have to see.
So does this mean that we're going to get a drummer back on the scene? Thank God, because we are lacking them spectacularly at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, that is the aim.
Can confirm there is a severe lack of drummers.
Indeed.
I feel like Jordan's still looking for a drummer.
Well, when you're in about 11 bands, there's always one that needs a drummer.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, 100%. 11. Last time I checked, you had like six.
Oh yeah, it's now over 10, but don't worry about that.
Okay,
I think even he's lost track of how many bands he's in now.
he is. He definitely has.
I think it's 11.
So when are we seeing you again in Lincolnshire, young man?
Um, I've no idea. We need to sort something out soon.
We need a puppy play date because we've got a fucking shit ton of dogs between us, haven't we?
I mean, I have one. The shit ton is your end.
I'm not
I
bringing mine.
admit it. You've got two, haven't you?
We've got two, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing either of them.
Oh, you meanie.
One is like 10 times the size of probably all of yours combined, and the other one's probably
Oh,
smaller than all of yours. So
oh.
just
They're all good. They're all
nightmares.
cute, and I still maintain they're better than people.
They are.
I can't argue back with you as much. Well, they can, but
I don't
you
know.
know what I'm saying.
You ever tried arguing with a husky?
Nope.
No, don't do that. Because they can argue back,
They
and they
do. They're
know.
very vocal as well.
Yeah, I don't want my face ripped off.
Oh
Oh,
no,
come on, as
they
if
don't bite. They just
you're
howl at you.
scarier than them, George. So, well, anything else anybody's got to add?
What are your thoughts on AI in music? That's the thing we
Yes,
ask all of
that.
our guests on here. We haven't asked you yet.
AI in music. Right. So if I want to write a song about how much cheese puffs are better than people, and I've got 30 seconds to do it, and I don't want to post it anywhere, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll whack it through AI because it's fucking funny. I've had a few beers. If I want to put something on the internet as a song I've written, no. If it goes for a computer any more than you editing your own vocals, guitar, drums, piano, whatever, then bin it off. Like it's fine to take an AI song and use it for inspiration of what your idea would have been if you just tried to make it sound like something. Fine. But don't take that song and put it on the internet classing it as yours because it's not.
No.
Though at the end of the day, that's it. Like it's not your song. You didn't write it, a computer did.
Yeah. You can't take the credit for that shit. And it's like it's the musical equivalent of tracing when you're a kid, it's somebody else's design. I mean, there's a bit of tissue paper and when they fucking copy it,
It would
and
be
that's
like me
mine
putting a
now.
prompt in there now going, write me a UK top, what, number one, the UK top 40. And then asking it to rewrite it every 37 seconds till it sounded like Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. And then
Nobody
releasing it
needs that
going,
in their
this is
life.
me. No. But people do, and it's sad.
Yeah.
But it's popular for some reason. You won't find an AI song on like Spotify that hasn't had the bollocks streamed off it because most of the AI music that's currently trending is written into a meme format and then posted on TikTok where it picks up traction. Then people show their mates, they play it in their cars, it's funny. And without knowing it, all they're doing is putting AI further and further in the algorithm until it accidentally wins an official music award, which it did.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the phone the other morning, weren't we? What the hell was that about?
People not doing the research. But it also shows you how scary AI is. Because if people in that high up in the industry can't tell that's not a real person singing it, then it's just industry in danger. It's cancer. to be blunt.
It is.
Yep, that
Yes,
that sums it up pretty well.
I
Same
do.
as all these gig posters that you see.
Oh God, not them again. Not the
We
brown
love those
ones.
gig posters. We
We love
talk
those
about them
brown
every
gig
time.
posters, don't we, Ben?
Same font, all the writing on it, exact same
Yeah,
backdrop. They're all
everything,
identical.
all the information, every conceivable element of information on the same brown background.
Or
It is as well.
or album artwork. A lot of bands, and I say this as a victim of this, a lot of band members will use AI just to be like, oh, it's just for an idea. And then they go, actually, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Again, like I'm sure as an artist yourself, Dale, that must infuriate you.
Oh God, yeah.
But
And
yeah,
it's
gig
horrible, and
posters
it's
are the
it's
worst.
boring. It's boring seeing the same thing over and over again as well. And it's so obviously AI. It's as fake as fake lips for me. You can spot it a mile away, and it's never going to look real. It's the sort that
No,
same sort of thing.
no, AI in general. Some aspects of AI are helpful. And by that I mean spell checker.
And me trying to
Great.
fix my car instead of bothering you on a Sunday morning.
Excellent. Like general knowledge or trivia. Perfect. You want to double check the answer in a pub quiz and you're arguing with your mate because you think you were right and you've bet a beer on it. AI
Yeah.
it. Excellent. That's got the
Turning
answer.
your dogs into pirates. That's what I
Yeah,
like it for.
great.
Yeah.
But anything where you're taking money or talent and
Yeah.
throwing it back into a trained and practiced professional should not be used for AI.
No. No, because it is ruining the career of all of us. Whatever element of the creative industry we're in, it is destroying it. But I think it's going to be one of those things that comes full circle that like we're all sick of seeing the brown poster with the multiple text. I think eventually it will just go out of fashion. I hope so, at least.
I think the creative design aspect of it will. I think AI will be incorporated into everything and anything
Yeah.
at the moment. But I think in the creative arts, I think it will go out of fashion
Yeah.
slowly, but it will.
Fingers
Let's hope
crossed.
so.
Yeah. So,
Besides,
any, huh?
ChatGPT cannot sing me a song about shitting in a policeman's helmet, quite like Jordan can.
Quite. No, I mean that's never going to
See, that is
happen,
that
is
is
it?
true. That-
And you haven't even seen you haven't seen the glory of him on stage topless in the policeman's helmet
I
singing to
haven't seen that.
bikers. I mean that
It
was a beautiful moment.
it has happened. That
I
was
feel shortchanged.
He's doing his
well. That's why
music
you need to
video
come
as
to
well. Did you
Lincolnshire
know? Is it
I
Saturday,
didn't
Bob?
know.
You're doing your music video for policeman's
Friday.
helmet.
We're filming a video for it Friday, and all I can say is it's going to be exactly what you'd expect a
I
Starfish
can't
music video
wait.
to be.
I love it.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Right, well, I'm going to go and retrieve my animals that I've left with their dad in the pub. Jesus, that can only go one way, can't it? So, but yeah, thank you, Connor. I feel weird sort of saying thank you, Connor, for letting me interview you. Seeing as you're like my best pal and we talk all the time. But no, it's really good that we've actually had a chance to talk about this, and then people will stop asking me what happened to the other guy, balaclava.
I think
So
this is a really
hoping this
insightful
answers the
interview.
question.
This is really insightful. It's one that people want. So yeah, it's good to
Yeah,
get this one done. I think.
definitely. So well, I'm just glad to hear that whatever you're not telling me in your secret world, which I will get out of you one way or another, you are getting behind a kit again.
Yeah, maybe.
You will. You toying with us.
Maybe he says.
Maybe. Well, I'm gonna love you and leave you both and cut us off now. And thank you for letting us talk to you.
No worries. Speak to you both soon.
Catch you
Take
on the next one.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.